game and you feel like it kind of needed a little more content? No?
DLC, which of course stands for Don't Lick Chickens. It's the one thing that keeps video games these days going, whether if it's in-game cosmetics or extra story content. I have mixed feelings when it comes to DLC, and to be honest, I sometimes look at my library of DLC and I think to myself, did I really need that? DLCs come in all shapes, sizes, and prices, ranging from the best of free to, oh my god, my wallet is no more. It also sort of depends on what the DLC for said game is actually worth, especially for its price. I have 3 categories when it comes to DLC, being this is a great idea DLC, the questionable DLC, to the
why does this even exist?
I could go from being, yes, this was well worth my money, to like,
I should have saved for that PlayStation 5.
Now I don't know about you, but I own games. I own a lot of games. And with that, I played said games. Mario Kart 8 launched on the Wii U in 2014 and became the most sold game on the platform. The base game in itself was pretty fun, like the other entries in the series. It introduced the anti-gravity mechanic, brought in new items, and so much more. But you know what it also got? That's right, baby, DLC, which of course stands for Don't Love Cats. Mario Kart 8 had 3 DLC packs, a crossover with The Legend of Zelda, Animal Crossing, and Mercedes-Benz of all things. The Mercedes collab was a free DLC update and is probably one that I got really confused by when it was first announced. The other DLC packs, however, was up for purchase and was sold for about $8 each. But they were also sold as a bundle containing both for about $12.
I mean, yeah, I get it, but at this point, like, why don't you just get the bundle?
Yeah, it's extra money, but if you are the idiot that decided to buy both packs individually, then you just spend more money for no reason. These DLC packs didn't just come with a Zelda and Animal Crossing track, but with a few others based on F-Zero, new and classic tracks altogether, and new playable characters that include Tanuki Mario, Cat Peach, Link, Villager, Isabelle, and Dry Bowser. The DLC also had 8 additional skins for both Yoshi and Shy Guy. Overall, this DLC was well worth it. That was until it had an offspring. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was not only a port of the original Mario Kart 8 on the Nintendo Switch, but it also included all of the DLC from the Wii U, as well as more new playable characters, all for the price of $60. And even though we expected a port to come, we all knew that for sure that an original Mario Kart for the Nintendo Switch was coming. We had this happen for every major Nintendo console.
I mean, of course Nintendo was making Mario Kart 9. Wait, what?
Yeah, that's right. We didn't get Mario Kart 9. We got Mario Kart 9 as DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The Booster Course Pack came with 48 new courses, new playable characters, 16 additional Mii Racing suits, custom items, and a better online experience, all for the price of $25. With all that, this DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is 100% worth it, as it's officially the definitive Mario Kart experience.
You know what's better than racing as these characters? Fighting and cosplaying as your Miis.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It was released in 2018, and to be completely honest, although I love this installment, I don't seem to revisit it a lot. I did love the return of an adventure mode, but it wasn't anything like Brawl. But what it did keep me coming back was, of course, its DLC.
This game has just so much DLC that I didn't even download them all, for the simple reason because it's just not worth it.
There's 2 different types of DLCs for this game. We got the fighters and the Mii costumes. For the fighters, we got Piranha Plant, which was released for free for a limited time. Now Nintendo's asking for $5. And then we got Joker from Persona 5, the hero from Dragon Quest, Banjo and Kazooie, Terry Bogard from the Fatal Fury series, Fire Emblem, Min Min from ARMS, Steve, Alex, Zombie, and Enderman from Minecraft, Sephiroth from Final Fantasy, Pyra and Mithra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Kazuya from Tekken, and Sora from Kingdom Hearts. All for $6 each. But they also had 2 Fighters Passes that allows you to download every character at once for $30. I say for the Fighters alone, it's well worth it 100%. But now we get onto the other half of this DLC's list. who's ready for some cosplay. I'm not gonna list them all due to the amount that there is, but to be honest, there's a few costumes that I did buy. There are Tails and Knuckles costumes to represent Sonic, a Shantae costume, a Geno costume, Fallout costumes, Cuphead costumes, Rabbids costumes, Sans! All for the price of just 75 cents each.
Besides being cosmetics for your Miis, they don't do anything. They don't even increase your stats. It's just there for style.
This isn't a bad DLC idea. Having you create your own fighter and dress them up as your favorite characters from so many other games is nice. But I don't see myself playing as every costume. The storage on the Switch would be insane.
Though costumes are not the only thing that get the DLC treatment. It also goes for seasons.
Hey, I'm talking about FNAF again. How great is that? Five Nights at Freddy's, believe it or not, got its very first DLC way back in 2015 with Five Nights at Freddy's 4. The only thing about this DLC is that it was a reskin of the whole game into a Halloween style and for free. I bet you can't guess when this came out. Sister Location got DLC down the road for it to feature a custom night, which was not featured in the base game. And once again, it was for free. This DLC basically puts you back in the same scenario as the original Five Nights at Freddy's games. Survive in an office until 6 a.m.
Things shook up from here where Help Wanted got DLC for the Halloween month.
Curse of Dreadbear, which includes more minigames for the price of $10. It doesn't include any new lore, but if you wanted to play extra minigames in your Five Nights at Freddy's VR game, then it's there. However, if Five Nights at Freddy's needed DLC, and if it was going to be any good, it would have to go to Security Breach's Ruin. This DLC being sold for the price of free would go on to fix some problems the original base game had, one of those being the horror aspect. Playing the base game alone didn't feel scary in any way due to its colorful nature and very open spaces. Ruin fixes that with you being stuck going in one route and for the most part being in the dark. I say if you haven't tried out the Ruin DLC, then what are you doing?
Here's one that makes real sense to have as DLC.
What the heck is a Gigabash? Gigabash is a kaiju fighting game, so it would have been a missed opportunity to not have the man, the myth, the legend himself not be in this game. Yep, Godzilla's in this game for DLC. Now, I never really played this game, but I do remember that at one point, a full-on Godzilla fighting game was released, and is considered to be the rarest PlayStation 4 title to ever release. Listings on Amazon alone go above $200 for this game. The reason for this was because the game got delisted in late 2017 and is no longer for purchase due to a license with the original creators of Godzilla. But with Gigabash, Godzilla and 3 other Godzilla characters are playable in this game. If you never played the Godzilla game for PlayStation 4, then this is the closest thing you're ever gonna get to that game. Oh yeah, and Ultraman's in this too.
Like, it wouldn't make any sense to have a kaiju fighting game and not have iconic kaijus in your kaiju fighting game.
Well, you know what else is iconic? Drums.
I don't have any drum props, but I got this coconut.
Taiko no Tatsujin Drum Session is a rhythm-based game developed by Bandai Namco for the PlayStation 4. A Switch game came out in 2018, however the game has been delisted recently, and the only game available I could play was this PlayStation 4 game. But my god! Does this game have DLC? I get that games like these will always keep adding music as downloadable content, but Jesus! Yeah, this game is really fun and all, but at the end of the day, do we really need this many songs for a single game? Why not wait until the next installment before delisting it? Oh!
Now we're gonna enter some territory that I'm very familiar with. A game franchise that I know very well. Hey, how did you know that?
Sonic Forces! Dare I say it again? Sonic Forces! A game that I honestly can't stand. It's too boring. Yeah, believe it or not, a good chunk of the Sonic franchise has DLC, but I'm not gonna talk about them all, instead going for something I'm more familiar with. Starting off with Episode Shadow, which is a free DLC update that allows you to play as Shadow the Hedgehog in almost every single Sonic level, and 3 exclusive levels to him. If you want to know the complex story of Forces, then by all means, do download this DLC. Not only will you get a boring story, but also a Sonic reskin. Yeah, Shadow has the same moves as Sonic, with the only added one being a homing attack that can lock onto a row of enemies. Other DLCs include customization for your avatar, mostly being cosmetics from other Sega IP, and 3 Sonic t-shirts. Sonic.
Now for the most controversial DLC that Sonic Forces has ever had. It's Super Sonic DLC.
An ability that was unlockable in every single Sonic title that allowed you to play as him. But in this game, you have to hit the download button.
Oh, no, it doesn't end there. You see, because the Super Sonic DLC was being put out for free. That was until Sega decided to put it out for $2 as DLC.
Due to the outcry of the fans, Sega decided to keep the Super Sonic DLC for free forever.
I'm sorry, what now?
How did Sega even go through this? I mean, thank God it was fixed, but that was a close call. Imagine having to pay for something you've always unlocked in a franchise for free.
Oh, but we've already entered the Sonic world, meaning that we already have more Sonic to talk about.
Sonic Mania was released in 2017 as a digital-only game, but just a year later, we saw the same game re-release physically with added content. The DLC that had been released, being titled Encore Mode, brings in 2 new playable characters who haven't been seen since the 90s, expanded the 4-player mode, and a whole new campaign to the game. All released for just the price of $5, with the physical version only being $30.
In my opinion, this is the best DLC to ever release for a classic Sonic game, unlike whatever it is that this thing tried to do. Kinda.
Sonic Frontiers probably has the best DLC when it comes to the modern Sonic games. We got a Christmas Sonic skin, the Adventure Shoes, as long as you join Sega's newsletter, and a Monster Hunter collab with a cooking minigame. We also did get the 3 extra updates to the game, which I already made a review on, but other than this, Sonic Frontiers had a great lineup of DLC.
But you know what really had a good line of DLC that was kind of just meh?
Sonic Superstars. Oh god, I'm already talking about this game again. Sonic Superstars had a handful of DLC going from LEGO skins to other skins and cosmetics for the online mode. My question goes to the LEGO skins, to be honest. So, we have a LEGO skin for Sonic that released for free, but if you wanted a LEGO Tails, Amy, and Knuckles skin, you had to pay separately.
Why not just include every single LEGO skin in a bundle and call that the LEGO bundle?
Yeah, you also got the Digital Deluxe upgrade for the game, but what's even the point of this? Just buy the Digital Deluxe edition! You get everything for a cheaper price! But by far the worst thing to ever happen when it comes to DLC isn't even from the Sonic franchise at all. Instead, it comes from a game that I only played very little of. I'm of course talking about Overwatch 2. What am I looking at? So apparently this only goes for the Nintendo Switch version, where for some reason, if you want to play the game in a different language, you will need to download the said language packs. Now, first of all, thank you that it's available for free, because no, I don't want to pay to play this game in Japanese.
Secondly, how is this not in the game already?
Why do I gotta download a language DLC pack? But the weird thing is that this is not even available in the other versions. So why is this DLC only on the Switch? Stuff like this is just stupid. A setting that has been in so many games is now a DLC? Man, this is just sad. Overall, DLC isn't a bad thing. It's just a question of, is it even worth it? I say if you think it's worth your time and money, then go for it. But if you think it's just DLC for the sake of just being in the game for you to look at, then don't just bother.
Hey, but you know what could be worse than stupid DLC? Digital Deluxe editions!